Reality check man from your device, you know it's a unique one, aromatic realistic TV. Anyway, today my viewers and subscribers, we are here to set the record straight. Because you know around here, so it's straight clarity, So we see where Alfred Dawes stick up Christopher Tuftongue and beating him badly. As the opposition shadow spokesman on health, Alfred Dawes is doing a damn good job. The man is beating Christopher Tuftongue like a ball. Expose him to the T. And everything that Dawes bring to the forefront to the Jamaican people, it is factual. It is factual. Because the evidence is there to prove. What did the minister say, Jamaica? My deep disappointment and indeed the condemnation of these unwarranted attack on the public servant and their reputation and their professionalism and on the institution that they worked. So he switched it and want to put it on the civil servant. Like the PMP is talking about the doctors them and the nurse them in the hospital who not have equipment, who not have supply, who not have nothing to work with. Your brothers and sisters, some of the nurse them in the hospital them and the clinic them, they are creating miracle with the little that they have to use on the Jamaican people. They are creating miracle. So some of the time, people are cursing the nurses and the doctor them. But you don't have to see with them because them are human being. Because when them look and them see somebody they dead and they don't have the necessary treatment to save that life, a human being them, it's going to take a toll on them. So we have to big up the nurse them and the doctor them. What in spite of the little resources that they have, they are creating miracle and they are doing their best. So Dayton Campbell debunk Christopher Tuftongue line of argument. Dayton Campbell in reply stated that our concern is not direct at the dedicated civil servant who are often overworked and underpaid and leave with very little room for improvement. That's what Dayton Campbell said the PMP is talking about. That's what he said Alfred Dawes is talking about. So don't try to bring the civil servant in this. This is you, Christopher Tuftongue, and also your administration and your permanent secretary. And who know we are blamed for this. So nobody come try playing on politics and talk about PMP this and PMP that. So without any further ado, Jamaica, we are going to play the clip with Christopher Tuftongue. Follow up by that one, then we will play the clip with Dayton Campbell. And you know, we are going to dissect it around here. Take it away.
The past week that I'm reading, we have seen a sustained and coordinated set of attacks on our civil servants and volunteers in the public health system by the opposition party. I have observed no less than 5 spokespersons and between 8 and 9 releases from that organization, among other things, calling on for the resignation of the Chief Medical Officer, the Permanent Secretary, the Board Chairs of Southern Regional Health Authority and Northeast Regional Health Authority, citing spurious reasons for those claims. I hold no brief for myself.
Let's stop right there, Sir Jamaica. Citing spurious reason for those claims. Christopher Tuftongue, you're not getting it, bro. You're misleading. Bro, you just need to go. It is simple, Jamaica. The head of these people that the Dr. Dawes and the PMP is calling for. 700 billion missing under their watch. And next $7 million worth of computer equipment missing under the man them watch. And next $35 million is also missing under their watch. So when the People's National Party is calling for their resignation and a non-political thing, the evidence is there, brother. 700 billion, 700 million, and an additional 35 million. Don't get it twisted. Anyway, continue, Jamaica.
As I understand, it is the political season and such. But I would like to publicly express my deep disappointment and indeed condemnation of these unwarranted attacks on public servants, on their reputation, on their professionalism, and on the institution that they represent. The opposition has clearly decided that their best hope for political office is to pursue what I will classify as a carpet bombing strategy. In other words, throw as much mud as you can imagine, encourage. On the issue of resignations, again, I thought you heard my statement earlier that I don't know if these calls warrant even a response, to be honest, because you're giving fodder to redundant assertions with no basis in fact or validation. Let me just say that I serve at the Prime Minister's pleasure and leisure. And until he says,
you hear what he says?
Everything else is noise.
The man said based on the resignation. He said, I made it clear. I serve at the Prime Minister's pleasure and his leisure. Until he say otherwise, everything else is nice. You can quote my word on that. What he's telling us, the world unu can go to hell. It does not matter what unu say or what unu do. Unu no see the amount of baby dies under my watch. You know see the amount of old people that died under my watch in the hospital, and the Prime Minister still have my back. So I don't care about the Jamaican citizen. That's what the man exactly telling us. You guys can go to hell. So let us get right into the Dayton Campbell clip and listen to the rebuttal of Mr. Campbell towards the minister. Take it away.
The following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
The People's National Party stands resolutely with our civil servants and the healthcare workers who are increasingly burdened by the under-resourced and understaffed public healthcare sector. Our concern is not directed at the dedicated civil servants who are often overworked and underpaid, leaving very little room for motivation. Instead, we call upon the government, the minister, and the specific accounting officers in the Ministry of Health and Wellness to address the issue of deep-seated unaccountability and the poor stewardship of the portfolio, which continue to cost Jamaican lives. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has failed to account for Jamaican's 700 billion. This includes over 7 million worth of computer equipment that has gone missing, nearly $18 million spent without proper procurement documentation, and the absence of the permanent secretary's approval for relevant contracts. Additionally, more than Jamaican $35 million was spent on consulting services over 9 months without a competitive process or advertisement. The Auditor General identified numerous irregularities in the ministry's expenditure of funds allocated for the COVID-19 pandemic and noted violations of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. Suspicion has also arisen over contracts awarded to the associates of Dr. Tuftongue. In 2020, controversy surrounded the awarding of untendered contracts to Market Me, a company allegedly linked to Dr. Tuftongue, for the Jamaica Moves campaign. Furthermore, contracts for storing deceased patients at the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, have been given to Archer's Funeral Home, run by Michael Archer, a JP councillor in Dr. Tuftongue's constituency. Does this situation not demand accountability from the top echelons of the ministry? We are not criticizing civil servants broadly. Our concern is with the minister and a particular civil servant who has overseen this significant mismanagement. Accountability is non-negotiable, and someone must be held responsible. If not the
Visit our
permanent
website at
secretary of the minister, who
pmp.org.jm
then should
or
the
check us out on
Jamaicans
Facebook
hold
at Jamaica
to account
PNP.
for this gross negligence?
So that was
Furthermore, we must
Dayton
address
Campbell,
the
the
issue of
permanent secretary of the People's National Party. So let us quote Dr. Christopher Tuftongue word. The past week that I am reading, we have seen a sustaining, coordinated set of attack on our civil servant and volunteer in the public health system by the opposition. The opposition is there to oppose and to hold the government accountable. And if at any time them see where things is not going right, it is the duty of the opposition to bring that information to the Jamaican taxpayers who is paying the government. Christopher Tuftongue go on and he said, I observe no less than 5 spokesperson and between 8 or 9 release from the organization, among other things calling on the resignation for the chief medical officer, the permanent secretary, the board chair of Southern Region Authority and the Northeast Region Health Authority, citing spurious reason for those claims. The PMP or Dr. Dawes or Dayton Campbell is not citing spurious reason for those claims. Christopher Tuftongue. 700 billion gone missing under your watch and under the permanent secretary Dustin Bryan watch, brother. And next 700 million in computer equipment gone, and the next 35 million gone without proper supervision. So no bother come with the nonsense there around here. We're not going to have it. We are not having it. He stated that the opposition is using a carpet bomb strategy. What kind of carpet bomb strategy the opposition is using? As I stated before, Jamaica, we need to understand that the opposition is there to oppose. The governing party is there to lead, which is the Jamaica Labour Party, to bring growth, development, jobs. You understand? To make sure that the Jamaican people live to the best of their ability. That's what they're there for, serve and to protect. The opposition is there to oppose and to hold them accountable. And when they see where things is not going right, it's the duty of the opposition to bring that information to the general public. So I don't understand what he is saying. The opposition is using a carpet bomb strategy. It don't make no sense. Him just try to spin it Jamaica. And listen how the man rude and bright and out of order. I serve at the Prime Minister leisure and pleasure until he say otherwise. Everything else is noise. So the little baby was dead when they get the ventilator. The man say a noise. The next one where they have to transfer over 3 weeks, he want a ventilator and not getting it. Him say a noise. The lady was dead, went down a Falmouth hospital and in leave and go to Kingston and in dead. Then say a lie because the lady was not a patient in the Falmouth hospital. Them just accommodate a situation because no space never in a Montego Bay. Almighty God, all the dead them a tell lie pan. All the dead them a tell lie pan. You understand what I'm saying, Jamaica? And he want to come now and use the public servant as a scapegoat. Use the public servant as a scapegoat, Jamaica. But I would like to publicly express my deep disappointment and indeed the condemnation of these unwarranted attack on the public servant, on their reputation, and on their professionalism, and on the institution that they serve. The same doctor them why you can try big up now, you know. And the same doctor them why you tell so you not give them no money. And the same doctor them why you not give them no CT scan, no MRI machine, no burner unit. You not give them bed, you not give them linen, you not give them no medication. They not have nothing in the hospital to work with. The same doctor them why they try to come big up here now. And they try to come spin the thing around to take political praises. The same doctor them why you not give no ventilator. What people they drop dead like a fly. And the same doctor them now you want to your deep disappointment and condemnation of the unwarranted attack on the public servant. For too long you guys been tricking us, man. Aromatic Realistic TV is here to bring clarity to my people, so that they can get it, so the next time around they can make the right decision. You know I try to clog up them brain and confuse them, bro. It is not going to work. And this is Dayton Campbell reply to Christopher Tuftongue. Our concern is not directed at the dedicated civil servant who are often overworked and underpaid, leaving them with little room for motivation. He make it clear and he said, instead, we are calling on the government, we are calling on the minister and the specific account officer in the Ministry of Health and Wellness to address the issue of deep-seated unaccountability in the poor stewardship of the portfolio which continue to cost Jamaican life. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has failed to account for over $700 billion gone missing. This including over 7 million worth of computer equipment that has gone missing. He says nearly $18 million was spent without proper procurement documentation and the absence of the permanent secretary approval for relevant contract. Additional more than $35 million was spent on consulting service over 19 months without proper competitive procedure. Without proper competitive procedure. So I don't understand what Mr. Tuftongue is talking about when Mr. Campbell called for the head of Dustin Bryan, the permanent secretary in the office of the Minister of Health. That should not be a surprise. That should not be a surprise for the head of Christopher Tuftongue. That should never be a surprise, Jamaica. 700 billion gone missing. 7 million of computer equipment gone missing. $35 million spent without proper procurement process. So what are you talking about? Bro, this is a national disgrace. And it's time for these people to go. But remember what he stated, Jamaica. I serve at the Prime Minister pleasure and leisure. Until he say otherwise, everything else is noise. So all our baby them were dead under Christopher Tuftongue and we are talking, he say it is noise. The underpay of our doctors and nurses, the port of them, Christopher Tuftongue said it is noise. The baby was dead. We could not get the ventilator. Christopher Tuftongue said it is noise. The numerous Jamaican them what is going into our hospital and our health center and have to stay in 1 week and 2 weeks in a wheelchair, sleep on bench and buy a piece of cardboard for $500 to sleep on. Christopher Tuftongue said it is noise. And he holds us no obligation. Because remember, I serve at the Prime Minister, pleasure and leisure. Until he say otherwise, everything else is nice. And you can quote my words. That's not my word. That is the word of Christopher Tuftongue. So he want to twist it and he want to spin it now, Jamaica, for it to look bad on the People's National Party with their sarcastic self and think that we are stupid. But we are here to bring clarity to our people. This is what he stated. But I would like to publicly express my deep disappointment and indeed the condemnation of these unwarranted attack on public servant and their reputation and their professionalism and the institution that they represent. The institution why you not put no CT scan, no burner unit, no MRI machine, they don't have bed, they don't have linen, they don't have medical supply, and you underpay them. The same civil servant you're talking about. So I want people to understand what he is saying, and he's trying to twist it and spin it around for it to seem like the PMP is bashing the nurse and the doctor and bashing our hospital. No, they are not bashing our nurses and doctor, and they are not bashing our hospital. They are bashing your administration, and they are bashing you as the Minister of Health and Wellness and your organization for the 700 billion that gone missing. The 7 million worth of computer equipment were gone missing. And the 35 million want to just give us up. That's what they're talking about. Anyway, my people, don't get confused. It's coming up to that time again. And them believe they can come with them money and them flour and them fertilizer and all these things to buy we out. But we are here to set the record straight and to bring clarity to our people. Remember, Jamaica, that the opposition is there to oppose and hold the government accountable. And anytime at all the opposition see it fit to bring things to our attention that is behind closed door, that the government is hiding for us, that's what we pay the opposition to do. So I don't care what they want to say, this or they want to say carpet bombing or they want to say. We pay the opposition to watch them. We pay the opposition to watch them and to make sure whatever they promise, they fulfill it. Right there, so there. Anyway, my viewers and subscribers, stay tuned to Aromatic Realistic TV. Like and share and follow us over YouTube. When you don't know what to do, I tell them to be well, my people. And the signature word, art of love, art of love, art of love. Peace out.